guys, welcome back to the channel for a little behind the scenes speed build for our next episode of Growing with the Grovers. This video is chock full of spoilers and insight into the next video, so if you do not want to be spoiled, don't watch the rest of this. Do not. But I wanted to post this first because I like posting speed builds before I actually post the episode, so that way people can see how I build them. They're aware that the build's on the gallery, things like that. I don't know. It's just the way that I like to do it. It probably doesn't make a lot of sense to anyone but me, but it's just kind of the way I like to operate. So today we are creating, okay, listen, hear me out. We are creating a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom family home in Zulani. We are building it next to the volcano for a very specific reason. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but Mara, you remember her? Yeah, Kyle's new boo. Well, things have definitely escalated in their relationship, and by escalated I mean we need a 3rd bedroom. Y'all, I got chills. Like, I kind of got chills a little bit. Okay, so this is kind of when we're going to start getting into the spoiler a little. So yeah, Mara and Kyle are now engaged. They're expecting their firstborn any day now. And little Misha, she's a teenager. And let me tell you, she's a freaking handful. So when I created this lot, this home, I wanted it to be all just one level. I do not like raising children or dealing with babies or even toddlers for that matter in like multi-level homes. It's just a hassle because of the stairs. I'm sure you guys can all kind of, relate to some degree. And so I wanted to create kind of a little home that was really cozy, easy to navigate, full of personality and life. And I wanted it to be next to the volcano where Misha and Mara lost their parents. I know it's kind of dark. Like, why would you want to live feet away from where your parents succumbed to the elements? But I don't know. There's something about this land that is very sacred. So there's also a part of me that kind of feels like this was probably Misha and Mara's home before she had gotten with Kyle, and the 3rd bedroom was just there because Misha and Mara and their parents both lived here. So I'm kind of thinking this home existed. Like, they didn't just move into it. Okay. If I said that, I take that back. I feel like this is their like childhood home. And so they obviously want to live here, even though bad things have happened. They don't want to leave this land. It's literally like their home. Right. And it creates so much peace for them. So I definitely am obsessed. Like, I don't typically build in Zulani to begin with, and if I do, you bet your bottom dollar it's going to be on a beach lot, just because, I mean, who the hell doesn't want the view of the ocean, right? And especially with Mara being a conservationist, she really likes to kind of be next to the active volcano. She likes to be more in, I guess, the jungle part of Zulani. I don't know. She doesn't really like the beach too much. She loves the beach. Don't get me wrong. She's definitely a beach goer, if you will, like a child of the ocean, but she doesn't love the beach. So one of the things about this home that I wanted to implement was chickens. I don't know why, but the idea of a little like chicken farm came to me because I can maybe see Mara and Misha's parents raising chickens as a means to create some extra simoleons to be able to sell to like the farmer's market and things like that. So I only have 1 chicken coop because the one time I did play with chickens, I had like 2. And I had 45,000 chickens, and nobody needs 45,000 chickens. Like, that is just way too much. I will say, since I've been building more lately, building has definitely become a lot easier. This home was super easy for me to put together. It was just crazy. It was like a streamlined vision. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was going for, and I just kind of ran with it. The only thing that I would say is kind of giving me a little bit of trouble are these pavers, these rock pavers, just because they sit up a little higher. So I decided to kind of scrap creating an entire pathway with them, and then I just kind of use them as like a little decor to the entryway here. And I do use Tool to submerge them a little bit deeper underground. I don't do it too much because I'm not super familiar with the Tool. Like, I know the basics, I guess, and I didn't want to overdo it and take up too much time because it can get a little tedious. But I'm thinking, you guys, I might do like a beginner's video on Tool, just the things I know and the things I feel would be very beneficial for somebody who is just starting to dabble into it. Because going back to, the build kind of just coming to me almost as like second nature. It has to do with the fact that I feel like with Tool and Better Build Buy and all, like those types of mods, I feel like I have creative freedom. Like I can create anything that my heart desires. I just have to put two and two together, and I'm definitely going to attribute that to Tool. I don't use it a hell of a lot here, but I don't feel so limited. Like if I thought of like wanting to do something kind of out of the box, out of the network, I could do it with Tool. You know what I'm saying? Like if an object, for instance, was too big and I'm like, oh my God, I really love this painting, but I don't want to use the brackets to scale it down because it's too much of a jump. No, I can fine tune it with Tool, and I love that. So yeah, it definitely has given me creative freedom. Another thing, because Mara is a conservationist, I wanted to add in solar panels. I also wanted to throw in the little water collector as well. So it's a very interesting build because it does have some elements of like eco lifestyle. We got like a little farm on here, and I love the exterior. I just love it. I love it so much. And it doesn't look like it's going to be a very big home at all, but it actually has a lot of room. Once we get into the interior, there are a couple things that I wish I kind of would have done differently, but ultimately I really like how it turned out. So I'm putting in some planters too, because Mara, since she's been, pregnant, she's hasn't been working as much lately, which is unfortunate. It's created a little bit of financial strain, especially because this home is so much more expensive than the beach shack that Kyle was renting. And so Kyle actually had to take on another job to be able to support his family. And Misha, she's a teenager now. Like teenage girls are expensive. Like they eat a lot. Well, actually, Misha does because she's always at the beach, but like they eat a lot. They want like the newest gizmos and gadgets and things like that. And she's a good kid, but she is sassy as hell. And I don't know, she just costs a lot of money, and it's just not doable right now on one income and one job even. So Kyle is still a lifeguard, and he's also working as a fisherman. So you might see some elements of being a fisherman in this home. Like there's like a casting net that he found, and he has like his old fishing pole, and then there's also some other things in here too as well. But let's dive into the interior. I almost said the exterior. I don't even know what the heck I was saying. But yeah, let's dive into the interior. I really love the use of the palm wallpaper. I thought that was kind of fun. That turns out to be like my favorite room ever. I don't actually use a lot of custom content. I don't think I use any custom content in this build. I might have used one piece and then decided against it. So for the most part, I would say, yeah, this is definitely a CC free build, but that room is my absolute freaking favorite. I don't typically gravitate towards colorful, wild, and crazy wallpapers. I like to keep it very simple because I get like major, I wouldn't say vertigo, I don't even know if that's the right word, but whenever I look at things with very complex patterns, even in real life, like I start getting dizzy and like I start seeing like lights in front of my eyes. Is that vertigo? I don't know, but it really just like messes with my eyesight. I don't know what it is. Like I had like a comforter for the longest time. I don't know if you guys would remember this, but it's been years and years and years, and I think it was even maybe in my like old vlogs, but it had a black and white pattern, and every time I would look at it, I would be physically nauseous. So that is actually one of the reasons why I don't use very creative wallpapers in my builds, is because it typically makes me kind of sick. And if I do, it's like one room and then the other ones are super chill. So yeah, this room is definitely channeling in outer Solani. Like it's bringing the outside in. I freaking love it. I love this bedroom. I don't really work with the items from Island Living very often, but I was very pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the packs that we currently have in game kind of intermesh in with them perfectly. Like I use a lot of High School Living in this pack. I think the new basement pack even. Like it's just crazy how much you can actually do with it, and I love that a lot. I also implemented like a lot of wicker and things like that in this build. Do you see how minimalistic I kept it, but also it just seems like there's so much going on. It has like a lot of personality. I love that. This home is just, oh my God, it just, for some reason, it has like a lot of tradition in it. It has a lot of culture. Like it just kind of like speaks to me. It's giving me like island voices. I don't know. It's so stupid. I can't even I just love this house so much. So anyways, we are moving on to Misha's bedroom. Initially, I wanted to start off with a single bed because, she's a teenager. But then I felt like it just didn't take up enough space and we had a lot left to work with and I didn't like that void. So I decided to use this bed. And I do believe this is actually from high school years, if I'm not mistaken. And I love it. I just love like the wicker, and oh my gosh. Misha's also a very creative sim as well. And so I wanted to give her an easel so that she can kind of, relinquish some of her inner tension, some of her emotions, and she can channel that into a positive way via creativity. I wanted to, y'all. I was so tempted to put that little ivy. Do y'all see that little ivy curtains up? But then that was, again, just like triggering my vertigo. I was like, no, that's just too much. That's just too much. I don't know. I think the older I get, the worse it becomes, because I swear it wasn't that bad. I also wanted to throw in this little wicker chair too. I don't know, maybe like when she's getting ready, she has the place to sit, to put on her shoes, or, maybe she likes to read a book in that chair. We are moving on to the nursery. The freaking nursery. And y'all, I know what the baby's gonna be. I'm gagging. But here, I'm not gonna spoil everything, because let me tell you, there is a little story about how the baby came to be, and it isn't as traditional as you would think it is. There's definitely a little bit of a story. It's not like the happiest story, but it is one, and I can't wait to share with you what that is in the next episode of Growing with the Grovers, which we are going to be playing Kyle and Miss Mara, dabbling into their life. I know a lot of people have been wanting this, and since we are getting very close to the end of season 1 of Growing with the Grovers, I'm going to do 15 episodes. I think the next episode is 14. I wanted to be able to give you guys a little bit of closure with Kyle, a little bit, because I know how much y'all really love him, and not a lot of you were a big fan of Eric, but I mean, I have mixed emotions about that. But of course, I love me some Kyle, but there is nothing more satisfying than seeing this man thriving, creating the family that he's always wanted and dreamed of, and finally feeling like he belongs and he doesn't have to like couch surf for the rest of his life. I love it. Remember how he came into our lives, the pink little suitcase? Oh my God. Remember how I had it out for him in the beginning too? Like, I could have sworn he had stolen Jacob's crib, and it turned out it was Eric trying to how would I say, frame Kyle. Yeah, oh my God, there's so many memories with that series, and we only like 15 episodes in, which is kind of crazy to me. But anyways, let's move on to the kitchen. I really love this kitchen. I love it. And the reason why is because it has like this rustic vibe to it. But again, it really is like channeling like that beach house theme that I'm like so fond of right now. I just love the way how this all came together. And the crazy part about it is I think I'm using, I don't know if it's like cottage living or it's the country kitchen set, but you wouldn't think a lot of these items would fit so effortlessly into a build like this, but they really do. Sometimes you just got to step outside the box a little bit and play around and just try out new things to see if it'll work. And I really love how this came together. So the interior of this kitchen is very small. We have like a very tiny table. I think I just put 3 chairs, or maybe even just 2 chairs there, honestly. A lot of my Sims never sit, like, I don't know about you, but my Sims never sit as a family together, like, ever. Like, I'll have them and grab food and they'll go sit on the freaking couch. So like, why would I spend extra money to give you a place to sit at the table when you're not gonna freaking sit there? So I just put 2 next to this window here, and I love it. I like this little space. And seriously, if this was my home, you would catch me sitting here every morning with my cup of coffee, just enjoying the morning breeze as it flows through that window. Although I will say, something that kind of throws me off about those windows is the freaking, like, the fact that they're open, like there's no screen on them. They're just kind of, I don't know, like I feel like bugs or something are gonna come in. Anyways, I'm working on Misha's room a little bit more. I wanted to give her an incense holder, because even though Misha is a little rebellious, she is very spiritual. She's into wellness. Right now, she's into being popular. She's into being the cool kid and, wants to be accepted by her peers, which I can't honestly fault her at all for that. But I feel like in the future, she might dabble into wellness. She might, maybe get into fitness or something along those lines. I haven't quite figured it out. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing here at this window. I decided to give it a little ledge. I think I put up some like spices and things like that. I don't decorate it too much, but I really wanted to focus in on the kitchen because I envision Mora being very big on cooking. She feels like, meals are a way to bring the family together, to reconnect, which I know sounds kind of hypocritical because I literally just told you like nobody's going to be sitting at this table, but let's just pretend. Okay. So I also threw a little in-ground barbecue out there because I want her to work on like some of the recipes from Sulani. I want her to learn those because she is a native here in Sulani. I don't know if you guys remember that, but this is where she was born and raised. And quite honestly, it could have been in this house right here. which is crazy. So I wanted to throw up a little buoy because, Kyle is a lifeguard, and with him being a fisherman as well, as we kind of get into the living room, you'll see some elements of that. So he'll have his fishing pole, his tactical gear, things like that. And then I did mention, I think earlier, about there being like a little fishing net. So I'm going to put that outside. I was going to put it in the house because I thought that would be kind of cool, but I decided to actually, I just decided to toss outside. So I can envision him finding that, or maybe Mara found it when she was out on her endeavors for being an island conservationist. Anyways, this living room, I like it. It turns out in the end, but at first I was like, uh-oh, Jen made a boo-boo, because what the hell do you do with this? So I decided to throw in that little tray. I think that tray has like sage in it or something. I can't really tell, but I love this couch from Growing Together. I thought it fit the space perfectly, and I wanted to create like a little office nook. So I decided, after I figured out where the hell I was going to put this gigantuous net, but let me just tell you, this thing like casts the most beautiful shadows. That is why I love this D-shade. Also, I've been getting a lot of questions about the D-shade again. The D-shade will be in my description, and it's going to automatically download it for you. And sometimes G-shades will say, oh, it's going to give you a bug. No, it won't. Okay. I don't know why it does that, but I won't. Okay. I would never do that to you guys. And mine is completely safe to use. But if it does do that, I promise you, it's just an error. It's not, we're not trying to do no crazy things over here by any means. But yeah, so it'll be in my description if you guys are interested. And I do believe it's called Virgo. Not 100% sure. I already forgot the name of my own damn D-shade. But anyways, so here's our little setup. We have a corner desk kind of happening here, very old electronics, computers, TVs, things like that, because we're spending more time outside. We don't have time to keep up with the latest gadgets and gizmos. Like, that is not our focus here. And so I just wanted to kind of create a little space where, at least we do have access to the internet. Anyways, you guys, I think that's about it for this speed build. I am so excited to finally get this out of the way so that I can film the next episode of Growing with the Grovers, because we, like I said earlier, have only 2 episodes left. What, until the next season? That is crazy to me. I can't even believe how quickly it has gone, and just, oh my gosh, how much more we have to look forward to. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the speed build, and if you did, you know what to do, boo. Don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Seriously, do it. I want you to become part of the family. I'm not kidding. And don't forget to let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, where the sun doesn't shine. And I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.
Small city thinking, I get why you left. Small-minded people sure know how to drink. I came to the party, I laughed at the jokes she made. I wish that I hadn't, 'cause now the joke's on me. I didn't come here just so I could watch you make a mess. I didn't come here to ugly cry in my favorite dress. So what were you thinking then when you kissed your lips? Now I'm kinda glad you did, 'cause now you adore me, adore me. Go ahead now, adore me, adore me. Little did I know she wanted you alone. I thought she was over you, but I guess I was wrong. I came to the party, I laughed at the jokes she made. I wish that I hadn't, 'cause now the joke's on me. I didn't come here just so I could watch you make a mess. I didn't come here to ugly cry in my favorite dress. She thought she could tear us apart when she kissed your lips. Oh, what a plot twist, 'cause now you